G'day sports lovers, it's Mossy here and it's time again to unleash snapping with the stars. Now today we have a lad who absolutely killed it at the Australian Athletics Championships, and for his troubles he's been given a boarding pass to head to Rio. I'll read straight from his YouTube profile. International athlete, YouTube vlogger, world traveller, amateur photographer and adventure enthusiast. It's this man here, none other than Australian Olympic decathlete Cedric Dubler. Now, if you've got a question for Cedric, just snap us now, direct snap, and we'll start things going with Ask Cedric. Massive weekend, you're the Australian decathlon champion, you got a Rio qualifier, you're now going to the Rio Olympics. So tell us, you got the Australian Championships in a Rio qualifier. That gives you auto-nomination. You're then actually notified and given a boarding pass. How were you notified? Phone, email, text message? Was it even on Snapchat maybe, or a direct tweet?
Mossy, firstly, thank you for having me on Snapping with the Stars. I'm just at the track putting all my poles away because I arrived back to Brisbane. In terms of how I was notified, I wasn't actually. I did have a missed call earlier in that day, so I wonder if that could have been it, but I didn't receive anything. So I only officially found out when the loud music was going on at the gala and the Olympians were lined up and they called my name to collect my boarding pass.
Sounds like it was exactly how you found out you were coming on Snapping with the Stars with Mossy and Robbo. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, how you got started in the sport and some of your influences.
I was born and raised here in Brisbane, and I've actually been training at this track at UQ for almost 10 or 11 years. Of how I got into the sport, I started in school. I did alright, so I joined Little Athletics to get a bit of training, and then sort of just progressed. When I was 13 or 14, I joined a coach here at the track to train for pole vault because I saw it on the Olympics and I saw an Australian guy doing well. That gentleman that inspired me was Steve Hooker. 2 years later, I joined another coach because that coach stopped coaching, and he said, come try a decathlon. It will be fun and I see potential in you. And as they say, the rest is history. We just kept progressing through the years, getting better and better, going through the stages, and now I'm going to my first Olympics.
Some of the greats have been inspired by gingers, and a fellow ginger, Steve Hooker, all part of the club. I feel like I'm part of it. The next question comes from Jules O'Bro and says, how many hours of training per week goes into achieving that qualifier? And I'll throw on top of that, walk us through a typical week of training for a decathlete. Plenty of events, plenty of training, I'm assuming.
In terms of hours, it's a bit tricky because it changes from week to week, but I would probably say between 20 and 25 hours. My coach has everything structured really well, so I know exactly what I'm doing, I know when I'm doing it, I know how much I'm doing. The general week plan is 4 gym sessions per week, usually 45 minutes to an hour, 2 Pilates sessions per week, usually about an hour, all done in the morning at the QAS. Then I come out here to the track 5, maybe 6 days a week, and I do sessions. And the sessions are usually about 3 to 4 hours, depending on how the body's feeling and how much I can get through. And I'm usually doing around 3, and I'm usually doing about 3 events per afternoon. I hope that answered it. It's very complicated.
Cedric, you think that's complicated? You should try, like I had to, figure out how many points you needed to qualify with 2 events remaining. That's complicated. Now, the next question is about your vlogs. A question from Asherman says, how much time do you take out of training to do footage for the vlogs?
Definitely agree. The point system is very confusing. I don't understand it myself, but I just have an app on my phone and I put in the results and it tells me the score. That's a very good question. I don't actually take time out of training to do the vlogs. It's all in training. Before a session, I'll let you guys know what I'm doing. During the session, between reps, while I'm resting and recovering, I'll just go and change the camera angle. After I'm done, I make a clip letting you guys know how it went, how I felt, and all that sort of stuff. So it's never actually been in the way of my training. And I've never actually spent more time at training or at the track because of the vlog. It's always just as I'm going along.
Next question from Matt Axford from SATV. What's your dream job? If you weren't doing athletics, what would you be doing?
Matt, that is a good question. I would love to travel and get paid for it. Not sure how yet. But we are working on it. We're working on a plan. I'll say that.
Righto, Cedric. The questions are pumping in on Snapchat here. The next question is from a person you know. It's Marty Clark. And he says, in the lead up to these major events, is there anything you do differently? In other words, what are you doing to perform so well, peaking at the right time?
Well, Marty, I'm sure you would know a lot of this, but for those that don't know, decathlon is an extremely long and tiring event. So to do well, everything sort of needs to fall into place. Physical perspective, I've got my coach and I've got my strength and conditioning coach who communicate and plan how they want to taper me, I guess. From a mental perspective, I've got a sports psych that I work with, just to make sure the head's in the right space so that I can attack the 2 days. And from a nutrition perspective, there's a sports nutritionist that I work with to plan what I eat, when I eat it, and how much I eat. I guess the biggest thing is just making sure everything is in place, everything's prepared, so that when you get out there on the field, you don't need a thing. When it came to nationals, I had a timetable set up of when I was waking up, when I was having breakfast, eating, sleeping, competing, everything. That just frees me up to simply just focus on what I'm there to do and how I'm going to do it. So to answer in short, preparation is everything for a decathlon.
Cedric, it's Mossy here. I'm in Woolies, and I tell you what, fruit and veggies everywhere. What's your favourite fruit and your favourite veggie?
In terms of fruit and veggies, milkshakes and pizza, probably top two. Sometimes sushi, that's not bad. The question seriously, veggies, not a super big fan of. I eat them because I know they're good. Fruit, I'm a fan of. Bananas, green apples, passion fruit, top three. And watermelon, top four.
Mate, so I'm surrounded by cereals at the moment. What I do want to know is, what's your favourite brekkie? What's the brekkie of champions?
Breakfast of champions is 4 wheat bix, 1 raisin toast, and 1 piece of normal bread.
Welcome back to In the Aisles with Mossy. I've got you some wheat bix, mate. Now I need to know, are we going some coffee or tea? And if it is coffee, how do you have it, mate? Soy flat white? Cappuccino? I need to know these things.
Mate, I'm sorry to say there is no coffee in my blood. It is all hot chocolate, the occasional tea.
There's no need to be worried, mate. I'll just get out of this when we're in the toilet paper aisle. They do say I talk some shit, though. Competition, you need about 25,000 calories to get your energy levels back up. What kind of chocolates or lollies or sweets do you go?
In terms of chocolate, Nutella, straight from the jar, whatever I can get, and the Cadbury Marvellous Creations. In terms of lollies, definitely Jelly Tots. That is the go-to.
Fantastic, mate. I have to admit, I had to get out of Woolies very quickly. Got told I couldn't film at all. Now, we've had a ton of snaps come in, so much so that I think I've had to use an extra gigabyte of data. We've got to finish this up, but I've got a bit of a solution. How about if I send you the snaps, and then over the next couple of days, you can answer those on your own Snapchat channel. So show us your Snapchat handle, and also where else can we find you on YouTube in particular and other social media?
Mossy, that sounds like a perfect idea. My socials are very simple, at Cedric Dubler, pretty much everywhere. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I'm currently editing day 1 of the decathlon vlog, so hopefully that will be up by tomorrow night.
Thoroughly recommend you go to his YouTube channel and check out A Guide to a Successful Flight Bathroom Edition. It's a cracker. Now, you mentioned there about the decathlon, so how about the dream event? You can compete against anyone, past or present, so dead or alive, in any location or event in the world. So who you're competing with and whereabouts is it?
I think that's one of my greatest ever videos. done on a 10-hour flight at 4 a.m. I think I spent about 4 hours going from bathroom to bathroom. Anyway, dream event. Location-wise, I would love to say Eugene, Oregon, just because I have competed there and I absolutely loved it. But I think I need to go with the Gotsis Hypo meeting in Austria. Without a doubt, the biggest decathlon event in the world. In terms of the field, I would definitely go up against world record holder and I guess one of my idols in the decathlon, Ashton Eaton, the legend Daley Thompson. And then I think I would pull together all the world record holders for the 10 events, bring them in and see what they can do in all the other events. That would definitely make for some interesting competition. I think we should sort that out. But Mossy, thank you so much for having me on Snapping with the Stars. I've loved this back and forth. I hope you guys have enjoyed, everyone that's watching. And I will go through and answer your questions later on in the week. Sorry, I got a bit tongue-tied there. Been doing a few interviews and a whole bunch of media stuff lately. But anyway, I will go through as many Snapchats as possible. Definitely keep them coming if you have more questions over on my Snapchat. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon.
And that, my friends, is a wrap for Mossy and Robbo's Snapping with the Stars with Cedric Dubler.